What's good, YouTube? Hitman Ace, man. Make sure you hit that like, hit that sub, show your boy some love. Apologies for that last live stream. I tried to go live, but apparently my internet connection is not adequate enough for me to go live. So I just do a pre-record and take the other live stream down or whatever. But basically, what I was saying in that stream before I got rudely cut off is listen. The Phoenix Suns hired Frank Vogel, of course. Um, there may be some mixed reactions from this. You may have some people who feel like this is the perfect hire. You may have other guys who wanted to see a new guy like Kevin Young, get hired. I was of the latter. I was one of the guys who said, we should have hired Kevin Young. He was on the top of my list. But Frank Vogel, if I'm gonna be honest, was not that far away from my list. Actually, I had him as my second candidate over Doc Rivers. Seeing how Doc Rivers has fell apart religiously in the playoffs, you just go off his track record compared to Frank Vogel. They're both champions. Frank Vogel is a more recent champion, and Frank Vogel doesn't have the 3-1 leads blown on his jacket, right? He doesn't have that history of just falling apart in the playoffs. And one can make an argument that LeBron James has tarnished his reputation. One being Frank Vogel has tarnished his reputation as a head coach or as an adequate head coach. So it could have been worse. Could have been Doc Rivers. We could have hired Budenholzer. I feel like that's a linear move, if not worse, than Monty Williams because he has the same issues on his jacket, right? A lot of people say he doesn't make adjustments. A lot of people says his locker room doesn't really respect him like that. So if you're gonna get rid of a guy like Monty Williams who has those false allegations, in my opinion, because I feel like he does have respect in the locker room. He's a respectable person. Maybe he doesn't make adjustments, but he is a respectable coach. If you're gonna get rid of him, better bring in a guy that's better. It's not too many better options than Monty Williams. It's the reason why he got that lucrative contract that he got from the Detroit Pistons. And it is what it is, man. Like I could really unpack a lot of angles, right? Like, yeah, we got Frank Vogel. I didn't want Frank Vogel, y'all. I can't sugarcoat it. Because my thing is this, right? Let me just go ahead and break it down. All right. Frank Vogel, okay, you got the experience, right? You got the championship experience, all this and that, right? If the Detroit Pistons would have sent the offer instead of Monty Williams, if they would have offered that to Frank Vogel, the majority of everybody would have been calling that an overpay. Oh, why'd y'all give Frank Vogel that contract? What has he done to warrant that, right? But when Monty Williams get it, it's salute. Everybody's like, oh, the Detroit Pistons gonna like. It's not that much. So it's a reason why the Detroit Pistons didn't offer Frank Vogel that. So we, on paper, we clearly downgraded. But given the options and the circumstances, it's the best option in my opinion, right? Compared to Kevin Young, Frank Vogel has the experience, he has the championships and all that, this and that. But why would you fire Monty Williams, right? I got to get on Matt Ishbia and all those guys. Why would you fire Monty Williams if you're just going to hire a guy who is a linear move at best, right? Why would you do that? Like, I feel like Monty Williams got a bad shake. I feel like Monty Williams got, like, this is proof right now. Like, right now, early. It's early, but right now it's proof that Monty Williams wasn't the problem. He wasn't the problem for real, right? We had guys on the team that was a problem. And which guys were that? We don't know right now, right? We'll figure it out. But I feel like CP3 and DA were the biggest problems. We need to get rid of them, not Monty Williams, right? We should have got rid of them instead of Monty Williams. It is what it is. You can't rewrite history. You can't turn back the pages. So we got to deal with who we have. I did want Kevin Young. I'm not going to lie to you. I did want Kevin Young. I was heavy on Kevin Young's train. But we'll see how this works out for us. What's next for the Suns? We got to see what we got to do with DA, right? We got to get some type of depth. We have to build around Frank Vogel at this point, right? We have to build an adequate team that fits his needs and his strengths and weaknesses, right? We got to do that. We already have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, right? That's a starting point that a lot of teams would love to be in, right? Outside of probably the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. Every other team would love to have. Oh, we got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. We got to build around those problems, right? So that's a starting point, right? That's a starting point. Like I said, we have very limited options. We don't have that much cap space, and DA and CP3, their value on the market has yet to be seen. We don't know how these teams value DA and CP3, so we'll see how that works out. But having a guy like Frank Vogel, I do believe he's a competent coach. Like I said, I don't believe he's better than Monty Williams, but he's good. He's a good coach. Maybe another system, or a new system, I should say, and just a different voice in the locker room would be good enough for DA to unlock DA's untapped potential, right? What that untapped potential is, I'm not sure. And should we take the chance of bringing DA again into another season and taking a risk with DA and him being the same shit stain that he was last year? It's yet to be seen. I don't believe we should, right? I believe we should trade him for depth and just get a lot of pieces around Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Shooters, specifically shooters, because that's what we need, right? And if not Monty, I see I'm already in 2022. If Frank Vogel is this defensive guru that everybody say he is, then regardless of what we have on the court, he should be able to work with that defensively. So we need shooters around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, right? Regardless of what our coach is, that's what we need. That's what we lack right now, is shooting. So hopefully we could trade DA for some pieces like that, and maybe even CP3. If not, I'm cool with bringing him in for another year. But this is a good move, though, right? This is a good move at the end of the day, and we'll see how the Suns look out. I mean, it's still some moves I feel like the Suns need to make for me to make my bottom line assessment for this team. But this is an okay move, right? Before, I was on the fence about Frank Vogel. When I seen the news break, I was a little upset. I'm not going to lie to you, especially seeing how Kevin Young, in my opinion, is the premier coach left on the market. But Frank Vogel, it's not a bad option, and we just got to live with the results. At the end of the day, we could come out here and do all these videos and project what the Suns should do, right? Whether it be with trades or with signings and coaching hires. We could do all that, but it's at the end of the day, it's Matt Ishbia and James Jones' decision, right? And that's one thing I learned on YouTube, right? I could do all these theoretical situations, right? Do all these hypothetical trades, but at the end of the day, it's not in my hands. It's in these guys' hands. And we just got to live with the results. Point blank, period. Hit me next. That's all I got, though, man. Hit that comment section. Let me know how you feel about this one. I'm out of here.